Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinlife.com, and today we're going to dive into my notebooks and have a look at a few of the pictures that I've been drawing, as I've recently been trying to put more effort into generally trying to learn how to draw. I'll point out at this early stage that I am in no way, shape or form a quality artist of any description. I just want to make it quite clear that I'm not pointing at these going, oh look, these are good pictures, because they're really not. But what I do want to do, and the reason I am doing this video, is because every time I post one of these little pictures or anything that I've been working on Twitter or Facebook, there's always a few people who will pipe up and go, oh, let's see some more, oh, you should do a video. So I thought, you know what, let's dive in, we'll have a quick few things, and I'll just generally talk about some of the lessons I have already learned in my very short art career. So, the main book that I've been really sort of sitting down and trying to draw really well in is this Leuchtturm's 1917 sketchbook. And if we just flip this open and have a look at the first couple, then I'll just say these are extremely thick pages, good stuff. Oh, I should point out, this is the boat that we are currently filming on. If you're unfamiliar with my videos, then I live on a little boat called Tilly, as seen in this picture. And that might explain why it's an unusual background. Just thought I better point that out for any new viewers. I don't know if you can see these properly on the camera, but we'll have a proper close-up in just a second. But basically, what I originally was doing when I started to draw was trying to draw loads of detail. But then once I realised, hang on, I can't do that and I can't draw at all, I started to focus on just the main things in a picture. And these have been taken from just sat here at this desk for an hour or so with my iPad with an original photograph up. I was trying originally to do sort of quality drawings in things like my little Midori notebook, but what I soon discovered was I really didn't have the patience to be sat out somewhere and try and draw in a very good manner. So I started to think, right, I'll just do nice little simple drawings and throw them into the normal. I use this as a general diary, as an actual sort of recording things that happen and general thoughts and that sort of thing. So I thought, you know what, I don't want to not draw in it, so I'll just not have great expectations for when I do draw in it. So then that's why I thought, right, I'll take pictures on my phone or on the iPad and then sit down properly and be able to spend a decent amount of time just in the comfort of my own little home here, and obviously have my podcasts playing or audiobooks in the background. And this here is, once again, this is actually that Midori sat on the desk looking across Blakemere. And yeah, really, it's all fun and games. I've got quite a few of these little notebooks where I've got these random little drawings thrown in. And I think we'll fetch the camera up now and have a proper look. As you can see, we've got a few different notebooks scattered about. The small ones I use as refills for my Midori, which I also use as a wallet, so I always have that on me, which is why I use it as a diary. And my goodness me, I don't know if I'm on my 6th little book in less than a year that I'm slowly filling up there. If we just have a quick look here, these were the first ever recent sketches that I attempted with a fountain pen, and as you can see, I was trying to put far too much detail in, far too many lines. That's meant to be a path through a sort of foresty area, which obviously didn't go well at all. That is Chirk Aqueduct and the viaduct next to it, which, at least because they're basics, very recognisable structures, you can see that they're meant to be archways, but still far too many lines and all that on there. If we have a look actually in this one, I'm sure that somewhere near the back, yeah, this is where I started to put stuff like these very little sketches in, and I really do enjoy just these very tiny ones. Again, there's too much detail and it's a very awkward one that I've drawn there, but still, you get the general idea that less seems to be more, certainly when it comes to me and my total lack of skill. It's a similar thing with this here. This was still one of my very early attempts. It was last December, I think. Yeah. In fact, that's taken from a photo that soon became my second Narrowboat Books front cover. And this is St Martin's looking down the canal, so you can see we've got obviously the top of Tilly there, a boat in the distance, and then the canal. But once again, I fell into the general perspective trick. Instead of it looking as if I'm looking down the boat, this is almost as if we're in a helicopter looking down on the canal. So once again, these are the sorts of lessons that I've been attempting to learn. I wonder, have I got... this was the first drawing that I did that I really liked. This was over at this was basically, my nan and granddad have got a caravan in Wales, and over in sort of Lewin Grill area where their caravan is, this is up a hill looking across at Barmouth, for anybody who may know those areas. And it's an interesting thing that, coming full circle, one of the most recent ones that I've done is this, which was basically, if we're up on the mountain there, we're in the same place but just out and down in the sea in the kayak, looking across once again at Barmouth. This time I put a few more little mountains in, and these are the hills that we were sort of on when we were looking from that original one there. This one was done in pencil though, because I finally realised, yeah, I can't just do it all in pen because I'm not that good. And once again, these are the simple, like, extremely simple drawings, and as few lines as I can possibly put in them, that I feel works a lot better than what I was originally trying to do. Now, it's a random and possibly interesting fact for anybody who may be interested, that once upon a time, many years ago, I did do a little bit of painting. Once again, nothing great or nothing grand, but I will, I think, pop in a video of that just now, so you can see if I can go home and discover any of my old pictures. Just one last thing from the notebooks. I did just discover this. As you can see, once again, this is a view through the canal boat window that I did far too many lines on, and it just got worse and worse and worse. You can see the window's nice and simple. Got the missing latch there and the latch there. Then your bar across where the top section drops down. Boat licence and the winter mooring licence, but then everything outside, it was a choppy day on the canal, which is why I tried to do this wavy water. But as you can see, it didn't go well at all. But what we really want to talk about is what we are looking at in the background here. I've had a route around in the loft and managed to find these, which must be my first attempt to use acrylic paint, which didn't go very well, as you can see. But these must be about 10 years old now, which is a scary thought. But once again, I was just trying to use that very simple, very few lines to sort of hide the fact that I don't have any real skill. If we move across here, I'm not sure when these are from, but they're definitely a lot more recent. And you can see I love just the sort of general mixing on the canvas and getting really thick layers of paint on here. I know you can't see that on the camera, but that's what I really started to enjoy with this sort of thing, as well as something like this, using masking tape to add in these bright lines and very stark contrasts. And I'm thinking very much of maybe doing something like this to go on the back wall of the boat. You can see I've got me various old acrylic paints that I managed to find up in the loft with all these bits and pieces. Also got one of these random sort of pieces of canvas, little, almost like a sketchbook made out of this stuff, I suppose. And you can see, once again, that was my first and only attempt to do painting actually out and about in the field. Quite literally in the field. This, if you're familiar with my videos, is the view from a little hill in the first field, which is somewhere that I have always, well, I still remain to this day, walking and pointing a camera out there. But, this I do quite like. This was, once again, just really me putting as much paint onto the canvas as I possibly could and making a 3-stage sort of sunset over the sea image. I particularly like the one in the middle because of how stark the line between dark and light is. But I don't know what it is about this top one. Because the paint is so thickly on here, I just love the way that it looks. And it's a strange thing that I've thought of putting this very set up on that wall on the boat that's just plain tiles at the moment. Anyway, just wanted to share those with you. Like I say, I am still no great artist, and clearly never have been. These are not great or anything, but it's more just playing around and trying to actually learn the basics of, right, if I draw this, what's it going to turn out like? And in some cases, like I say, I think that boat is probably one of the better ones that I've managed to put together. And obviously, as I've mentioned, I aborted my attempt at drawing myself stood on the roof there. But it's a nice thing just to do that little outline so I could get some general perspective and gauge the size of everything that I was drawing. The writing Tilly, oh, that took me forever to do. And once again, using pencil, I find it much better, because if I'd have done that in pen, the first attempt that I had was absolutely dreadful. And again, this is the said Midori notebook, and you can even see the Parker IM pen there, I think. Oh no, that's the Parker IM, the fountain pen that some of these drawings have been done in. That is the little cross pen. There's my little bottle of ink. We are looking off a picnic table across Blakemere in the distance, but even here I left all of the sort of trees and everything that went beyond the basic elements very, very bare and empty. The reason that I bring up my general old painting is because what I'm hoping to do over July is start art journaling. I've been watching a lot of Romany's Realm videos. I'll put a link in the description and on the screen now. But she's somebody who's got a lot more talent and an actual genuine ability to create pictures and rather nice art. So what I thought, inspired by some of the things I've seen, I'm going to just, whether it's painting, drawing, just collages, anything, basically. I've got this, yes, it is very, very pink. Once again, a Like Term 1917 sketchbook. So that's why I thought I'd rather do it in a bigger notebook and have all the room rather than the smaller one. And basically, over July, I'm just going to fill this up with any random things that pop into my head, just for the sheer sake of doing a little bit of art and thinking, right, this might be fun, let's try this. So I'm going to have all my paints on board, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to work too badly. But you can never tell, because I might try one thing on the first day, it turn out rubbish, and then be in such a big sulky mood that I won't ever do anything again. That's my plan for next month. Just wanted to really share a couple of these random little bits and pieces. Like I say, there's nothing groundbreaking in all this, but hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'll say thank you very much for watching. Check out my other videos for a load of proper narrowboat life, and also a load of notebooks and pens and pencil videos and goodness knows what else. Of course, feel free to subscribe, like the Facebook page, feel free to add me personally on Twitter and Facebook, and of course check out my books available for the Kindle, The Narrowboat Lad, Living the Dream, and the brand new A Narrowboat and a Notebook. All of them just about my general life on board. Until the next time, have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you around soon. Farewell.